we didn't actually talking about this before, but a ton of people, I've been watching the comments go by, are asking about Bill and Camille Cosby. Here's the only thing that we have recently. Camille Cosby was called for a deposition in one of the many cases that have been brought against.
This is his longtime wife.
Yeah,
right?
Who
stood by him through these allegations. Yes.
And she's been called for a deposition in one of the many civil actions that have been filed against him. And she has tried desperately to get out from under having to be deposed.
Right.
But she went into court today.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know.
And a judge rejected, or maybe it was last week, sorry. And a judge rejected her efforts to get out from having to be deposed.
What do they want to know from Camille? Things that Bill said. So this is an interesting legal issue that we should touch upon.
Yeah.
If Bill Cosby told Camille things in confidence, would that even be subject to discovery?
So
in this case,
we're all pretty familiar, at least from like a Law and Order type way, with the spousal privilege, the marital privilege, whereas you don't have to testify to things that your husband told you. Couple things. Not every state honors that, but I believe that these do.
Right.
But it doesn't mean that you are prevented from testifying, or you're allowed to not testify about things you've seen.
Got it.
Or things you have heard from third parties. It is a very specific and limited privilege and only deals with the conversations that you had with your husband about matters dealing with the
because I confess a lot of weird things in my pillow talk. And
Yeah.
I don't want that coming out.
Yeah.
You want to have, I mean, the reason behind this privilege is you want to be able to have candor in your marriage, where you guys can discuss everything and not worry about it being subpoenaed.
But the difference in you and Cosby is you tend to Instagram everything at the exact same time you talk about it.
That's true.
Including your wife's like massively,
you better go somewhere. You better go massively beautiful personality.
No,
I don't know where Jason was heading with calling.
Massive dislike for you is where I was going.
That's true. That's right. Wow. The flop sweat just like beat it up.
I love Mary. I actually did mean to. I tried to get out her dislike for you. It came out. I said massively, and then I was stuck there.
You had massively, and then you had my penetrating stare.
Yeah. Laugh my ass off. She's not stupid.
For people who don't know, my wife is not massive. My wife is pregnant, and she's due any day now.
And honestly, I would never describe her wife.
And she's lovely. She has a beautiful pregnant glow, and I love it. I do. I love every minute of it.
Again, another thing between you and Bill Cosby, he wouldn't talk about.
She's a vessel for my child. I'm very excited about it.
So a spouse can testify. Yes, a spouse can testify.
Sure.
It's not against. A spouse is nobody testifies against somebody else.
Right.
I know we use that term commonly, but it's not really what it is. A lawyer will issue a subpoena. You have no choice but to come and testify.
Right.
Certain things you are not required to testify about. Conversations with your lawyer, conversations with your doctor, conversations with your spouse.
We call these privileges.
Yes.
You're allowed to keep them secret.
Right, but on June 3rd, 2004, did Bill Cosby come home that night? You're not protected against that. So you have to testify about his whereabouts if you know them.
And you have to testify honestly and accurately under penalty of perjury.
Right.
You can't cover for him. I mean, you can try, but you run a risk.
Who his associates were, the people that he hung around with, all of these things are not covered by the spousal privilege.
Just your pillow talk about your weird privileges.
It's one of the most limited privileges, like lawyer privileges you hear about all the time. That shields almost anything. You can't testify about, lawyer can't testify about where they saw their client.
Always copy your lawyer on card.
What's his name? Derek. That's Derek. Guilty. Yes.
Hey, everyone.
Yeah.
All right, so I think
they deposed her already. Yes, they deposed her today. They're deposing her.
Oh, wait, she's in the chair now?
She's in the chair as
wow,
we speak.
so this will be actually an interesting turn because she's actually been quiet and supportive in the public. So we'll see.